And
Hello?
I believe I'm joined with Carly and Sean of Shouting at Satellites right here, right now. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing real good, and thank you for being on the show. And y'all called in very early, 6 minutes early.
Well, first, thank you for having us. We also thought we were told to call in early in case there were problems with like hearing us or something. So we figured we'd call in a little bit early. Sorry.
Hey, it's okay. Calling early is even better. So I'm not complaining whatsoever. Again, we are joined with Carly and Sean of Shouting at Satellites, rock band duo from Georgia. Let's go ahead and get started. Um, how did you two got started in music?
I actually met Sean because I went up to Jersey to join a band there because I guess a couple dudes up there had heard my old band and they were looking to start a new one, and Sean was a bassist, and that band actually went south pretty quickly. They ended up leaving us. We had a show down here in Atlanta, and they ended up leaving us here, stealing a bunch of our stuff. And so after that, we just started playing by ourselves. We figured we'd keep going because we already had a couple songs written, and we've been playing ever since. I think it's been like 2 years.
And how did Shouting at Satellites came about?
Well, basically, we've been in bands for a long time, separately, and we've never really had the opportunity to really put out all the ideas and music that we both really wanted to do. So we kind of took this opportunity to really go after exactly what we wanted, to be able to experiment with any sounds that we wanted and just do everything ourselves.
All right, and let me ask y'all this: how would you describe Shouting at Satellites music? Do you consider it pop? Does it you consider it rock, or a blend of both?
I think it's definitely pop rock. I think I think our melodies are a little bit catchier than indie music, but I don't necessarily know if it's radio friendly, so it's somewhere in between pop rock and rock music. But we really like 30 Seconds to Mars. I really love Styx, and we love all different kinds of music, so we kind of try and mix everything together. Lots of synth sounds, lots of, ambient guitar tones and stuff like that. So it's really just kind of a mixed bag of all the different sounds and different bands that we like. So I guess pop rock would be would be the political thing to say.
Yeah.
All right, and let's talk about this album that y'all put out early. Actually, it was a few months ago. Talk about working this project and what the reception y'all be getting.
Well, that was something that took about a year and a half to record. It wasn't everything straight through because we started out, it was just me and Carly, and we wanted to look for a bunch of people to play with, but we basically decided that we're just going to do everything ourselves. Everything on there, me and Carly recorded. We played all the instruments. I recorded and mixed and mastered the whole CD. So it was a lot of work for us, but we just kind of kept going and writing things, what we felt, everything that we always wanted to experiment with, every idea that we always had, just to get it out there and do exactly what we wanted to do.
And we kind of, once it was done, we kind of didn't want to play shows or look for anybody to play live with us until that album was done. And the whole album is basically just about life and life in general, the bad things that people have to go through, and me really having to come to terms with not understanding a lot about it. And it's good. It's something we're really proud of. And like Sean said, it took a year and a half, so it's a really long time. So far, people seem to like it. It's we still haven't played. We've been playing a couple acoustic shows, but it's going well. I think if we start playing live, I think people are going to be really open to it.
What do y'all like the most of doing music? Do you like being in the studio making songs? Do you like performing? I mean, what's your favorite part of being musicians?
I think, well, personally, I'm not a huge fan of recording. Something happens every time we hit the record button, and I freak out. And I can always sing 10 times better when I'm not recording. But live is just like playing live. That's the ultimate. That's the best part about playing music is getting people to hear what you have to say and music that you've written, and especially when they like it. That's just the best feeling, man. I think Sean likes recording though.
Yeah, I really like recording. I mean, I'm a recording engineer and producer, so that's kind of, I really like getting into a song and like taking it from the beginning to a finished product. But I mean, the most fun is playing live. You just can't do anything that comes close to that in a studio. It's right there and it's in the moment, and it's just something that you can't describe.
Oh, and considering that y'all got this album out, and by the way, people can go to iTunes and search "Shouting at Satellites" and purchase this record. Um, and check them out. Shout out to Johanna. Shout out to the PR. Very nice people out there. I just want to give them a shout out. They're very nice people.
They're very nice.
So,
Splendid people.
and by the way, are y'all going to be shooting any music videos for one of the songs off this record?
We are. We were talking to someone about doing a video for the title track, "Shouting at Satellites," and it's kind of fell through. And so we're actually about to move up to Detroit for a few months, just to kind of save some money when we go on the road in March. So in between now and March, we're hoping to do a video for either "A World Away" or "Shouting at Satellites." But we haven't looked into it too much yet, but it is something that we want to do before March.
And speaking of "A World Away," I played that song before we got on the air, and I'm a fan of the song. I like it.
Thank you.
It's a very remarkable record, and it's good to hear music like "Shouting at Satellites" compared to half of the music you hear on AM FM radio. I just think y'all deserve a spot on the rotations. That's just my opinion.
Thank you.
It's a good opinion.
So, who do y'all consider as influences in y'all music?
I know while we were writing this record, we listened to 30 Seconds to Mars like every single day. We really like how they experiment with different synth sounds, and the structures of their songs are really different. They kind of just do what they want to do. We really like. There's a band called Greek Fire. It's really good. It's kind of like 80s pop rock, and it's amazing. We really like Jimmy Eat World. Just bands, you know what I mean? And we really appreciate good music and people that don't need to hide behind a lot of tricks. And so we kind of surrounded ourselves with all that. And I don't know what it is. I have a really big place in my heart for Styx. And so, especially on "A World Away," there's the bridge part where the vocals dropped out. That was kind of my homage to "Come Sail Away." All the synth stuff. So I mean, we just try and we try and give little parts of what we like and what we listen to in our music. So hopefully that comes through.
And I would say definitely guitar-wise, you too. I mean, when I was younger, I never really was too into them as a whole, but now that I've grown in my guitar playing a little bit, everything that the Edge does is just basically amazing, and I try not to disgrace his honor with my renditions of something that he might have done in this day and age. So I think we kind of try to take like the bands that we've grown up listening to, like more of the indie bands, and mix more 80s, 70s kind of textures and everything, and just try to make it as catchy as possible.
This next question goes out to Carly. Rock music, especially rock music, there's not a whole lot of rock bands out there, especially with a female being the lead. You got your No Doubts with Gwen Stefani. You got your Evanescence with Amy Lee. Those are only two I can think of off the top of my head that has had major success. Um, what is your take on artists such as Gwen and Amy and how they were able to have success being the female of mostly an all-male band?
It takes a really, really different kind of girl to be able to be in a band with all dudes. In my old band, we were signed and we toured for a couple years, and we toured in a van. You know what I mean? You're surrounded by dudes. You don't get to shower. It's dirty. You smell all the time. But, Gwen Stefani, especially, she's been around for so long. You got to give her credit because you got to hang in there, man. And eventually, when you hit the big time, it's probably easier and you have more, space and time and money to, deal with all that. But it's actually cool. In the past few years, like especially if you look right beneath the surface, kind of on underground bands, there've been a lot of chick bands that have come up, and I'm really choosy about female singers, but there have been a couple that I really like. Hailstorm is awesome. Heart is one of my favorite bands, and this chick sounds exactly like Ann Wilson. So Hailstorm is actually really, really good. But I say more power to chick singers, but like I said, I'm super picky, so I don't like all of them. Half the time I don't even like myself. But I don't know, man. I think it's a hard road, but if you've got the guts and you can stick to it, I'd say there's definitely room for more female singers.
Hey, I'm all for more female rock singers, I guess too much testosterone, for rock and roll. I guess it just takes a lot of trust, not just from the band, but for record executives and record labels, I guess. And that's obviously what Gwen had. That's what Amy had, and I'm glad Evo mentioned another band, Paramore, with Haley Williams.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I actually played a couple shows with them. When my first band, we played a couple of shows with them when they were first starting off. That was pretty cool. Like I said, you got to be you got to be a different chick. It's really hard to be girly and start off in a rock band. So it takes a lot of perseverance and a lot of dry shampoo.
So if Shouting at Satellites can have a dream collaboration with any artist or band, dead or alive, what would that dream collaboration be?
Oh, you know what? I think we've actually both talked about this. And if we're talking rock music, I think we'd probably say The Neat World. I know both of us have a love for Justin Timberlake. I don't know how that would work, how it would sound, but I think we would both pee our pants if Justin Timberlake came around and said, let's do a song. So.
And by the way, their website has been launched, shoutingatsatellites.com. You can check out the website for more info on the band. And let me ask y'all this. Do y'all have anything else in the works for the remainder of 2012?
For the end of this year, we're going to just focus on going on tour and just getting everything booked. We're going to go out in March. We're just looking to get as many dates booked as possible and just get everything out there to spaces as much as we can. Besides that, we're just going to save as much money and just play everywhere and just get it out there.
Touring is definitely the next step. That's part of the reason we're moving is to save the money on the road and stay on the road. So I would say at the beginning of next year, it's all about going everywhere and playing people.
What would your advice be to any musician, aspiring musicians out there that wants to take that next step, that wants to really take this seriously as a job? What would your advice be to anyone that really wants to be music artists?
I would say you have thick skin, and I would say be ready to help yourself, man. I think a lot of people wait for someone to come find them at, a small gig. They wait for people to, find them and sign them, whatever it is. You can't be ready to put your all into it and be for yourself and be diligent, because I've been doing this, 10 years, and really I'm not super famous. So it's just got to be, it's a labor of love. So you just really have to know what you want to do. Be okay with being rejected over and over again.
And there's a lot has changed in the music industry. But what's your take on the music, the rock/pop music that y'all hear on the radio these days?
I would say a lot of the things that I found have changed are a lot of bands can go on radio and everyone will love them, and they have a giant team behind them, and they have like this super polished song, but then don't see them live, and they don't sound like it at all. So I find that's kind of a problem today, because especially being recording business, I know what it takes to make not that great and perfect, and it's really good because giving people the opportunity who wouldn't necessarily have the money to a giant studio and record, come out with something great. But it also makes you be able to take something of a song that's mediocre, make it sound amazing. And it doesn't really let the people who are actually good musicians shine that much, because it's just so overpopulated with everything that sounds the same.
For those who just joining us, you're listening to Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C. Right here on ITMIRadio.com. You can listen to us on Talk Channel 2. And I'm joined with Carly and Sean of rock band duo Shouting at Satellites. Check out their official website, www.shoutingatsatellites.com. Twitter, follow them on Twitter at SAS_satellites. Like them on Facebook. I believe also facebook.com/shoutingatsatellites. But go check out their website, which was launched this past week. So congrats on the new website, and it looks great.
Thank you. He did himself, actually.
So, is there anything else you want to say to your fans that's been with y'all the whole way, that's supported y'all since day one?
Yeah, I was in a band a long time ago, like 5 years ago, and I still have people that write me and ask me what I'm doing, and they're really into the stuff that I'm doing now. And so I appreciate that. We wouldn't go as much without them, and then I'm looking forward to getting to go out on the road and meet them personally. So thank you. Thanks for being so patient and awesome and cool.
I to say, yeah, super thank you to everyone who has supported us. We've been doing things very instrumental and slowly building things up. Just like everyone knows, it has been that we have a lot of stuff coming up very soon, so you won't be disappointed.
Carly and Sean, I want to thank you both for being on the show. Great talking to you both. Best of success goes out to this band, and again, thank you both for your time, and you definitely have our support on the show, and thanks to Johanna, I will be playing y'all music on this show, and I will also be having your music added to my music 24/7 station, which is at chillingbroadcasting.com. So I'll definitely will add Shouting at Satellites to the music station in the near future. But thank you both. Keep up the good work. And again, thank y'all for being on.
Yeah, thank you so much, man.
Thanks for having us.
And you all have a good night and have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Carly and Sean of Shouting at Satellites.